It's an early winter morning. It's snowing heavily. Your bus hits black ice on the road. You lose control and slide into a utility pole. The pole breaks and falls on your bus. You have students on board. Now what do? In this presentation, we'll discuss the risks of fallen power lines on or near your bus and what you can do to prevent this from becoming a tragedy. It doesn't have to be a snowy winter day. Downed power lines can happen at any time, anywhere, and affect anyone. In fact, it happens hundreds of times a year. Often the power lines are broken and the breakers are tripped, so the lines aren't energized. But you never know. Sometimes they're still hot. The only way to be safe is to assume that the line is energized. Downed power lines are dangerous. They can still be energized, which means the electricity is trying to get to the ground. If it passes through a person, he or she can be severely injured or even killed. A line can fall on the bus and not necessarily trip the breaker. If that's the case, the line remains energized and current flows through the bus and the tires into the ground. When this happens, the bus's body, frame, and tires are all energized. But you're safe as long as you're inside the bus, because the energy from the power line is flowing around you and into the ground. It's just like a bird on a power line. Since the bird is only touching the line and not the ground at the same time, it's safe. You and the children will only get hurt if the power flows through your body and into the ground. And that's what can happen if you try to get off the bus and touch the bus and the ground at the same time. Let's discuss how to prepare for an emergency like this. Your best option is to always stay on the bus. You have no idea if the line is energized, so assume that it is. You're safer staying on the bus with the children. Warn anyone who comes near the bus to stay away. They can get shocked. Call your dispatcher or 911 to get help. Tell them it's an emergency and you have a downed power line and you don't know if it's energized or not. If police, EMT, or firefighters are first to arrive, tell them the line might be energized and caution them that it should be checked before you or the children try to evacuate the bus. Most first responders have been trained to keep you on the bus until the utility company arrives to confirm that the power line is no longer energized. But some first responders, like volunteers, don't always know what to do. Warn them that evacuating the bus is dangerous. Tell the first responders to call the utility company and explain that it's an emergency involving a downed power line on a school bus with children on board. This is important. Stay on the bus until the utility worker confirms the line is not energized. Once you know for sure, you and the children can safely get off the bus. There are only 3 reasons why you should get off the bus. First is when it's been confirmed by a utility worker that the power line is not energized. Second is if the bus is on fire or the cabin is filling up with fumes or smoke. And the third is if the bus is in a perilous position, such that you deem it more dangerous to stay on the bus than to exit. To better understand the risks of downed power lines, let's review some of the myths people have about them. Myth 1. A downed power line will be arcing or smoking if it's live. This is not true. Power lines do not always arc, pop, flash, or smoke when they're live, and they don't automatically shut off when they break or fall. The line may look inert, but it may still be energized. There's no way to know for sure until the utility company says it's safe. Myth 2. Power lines are insulated. This is not true. Most power lines are not insulated. The dark weatherproofing may look like it's insulation, but it's not. And even in rare cases when the line is insulated, it may have cracks or damage due to exposure, making it dangerous. Myth 3. The tires insulate the bus from electrical danger. This is also not true. Modern-day tires have steel webbing inside which make them conductive, or they may be wet. Tires offer some insulation for low voltages, but not the extremely high voltages that most power lines carry. Myth 4. Power lines have breakers, so when a line comes down, the power is cut off. This may or may not be true. Sometimes there's not enough current flowing through the downed line to trip the breaker, so the line stays energized. Remember, it's always safer to assume that downed power lines are energized until a utility worker confirms they're not. The safest practice is to stay on the bus, warn outsiders to stay away, and call dispatch or 911 for help. But suppose you really do have to evacuate the bus. What's the safest way to do it? The answer is nothing like a regular evacuation. The rules are different when you're dealing with a downed power line. In a more traditional evacuation, you've been taught to have a designated helper who can assist getting the children off the bus. However, that's the worst procedure when there are downed power lines. Someone on the ground touching someone on the bus can complete the circuit, causing them to both be electrocuted. If you're involved in a downed power line situation and you absolutely have to evacuate the bus, follow the procedures outlined in this recreation.
Okay, everybody, we've got a little smoke here, so it looks like we're going to have to get off the bus. It's okay, just relax, everything's going to be fine. However, because there's a downed power line, I'm not sure if it's energized or not. So we can't just step off the bus like usual. We're going to have to jump away from the bus and then hop away like a rabbit.
We have to do the bunny hop?
Yeah, pretty much. Here, let me show you. Everybody get where you can see. Okay, first, when you get to the bottom step, put your feet together and then jump away from the bus. Don't reach back for the bus railing or reach back to the bus. Then you're gonna hop away like a bunny hop to a safe place. Let's say to that tree over there.
I don't think I can hop that far.
That's okay. As long as you can hop 30 feet away or 3 car lengths, you'll be okay. All right, everyone, leave everything behind and line up, single file. Now, remember, you're going to put your feet together and then jump away from the bus. When you land on the ground, keep your feet together and hop away like a bunny. It's most important that you keep your feet together, touching each other. Don't step and part your feet at all until you're about 30 feet away, or like I said, 3 car lengths, okay? All right, let's go one at a time. All right, oh, and hey, before you jump, cross your arms in front of you. It'll keep you from touching the bus.
Like a parachute guy?
Yeah, like a paratrooper. So, okay, ready? Put your feet together, cross your arms, and jump. Excellent. Very good. All right. Okay. And next, put your feet together. Oh, wait. No. You can't just step off the bus. Put your feet together and jump, just like I showed you. Ready? And jump. Okay. Very good. Excellent. Very good. Okay.
Miss Hawkins, do you need us to help with anything?
Not this time. Normally you guys would help the kids get off the bus, but not with a downed power line. Okay. Arms together, feet together, and jump. If you're on the ground and you touch one of the kids on the bus, you could complete the circuit and you both could get electrocuted. Okay, feet together, arms crossed, jump.
And that's how you safely exit the bus. And I know what you're thinking. What if the front of the bus is blocked and you have to use the back door? Well, here's how that would look. Watch how the kids sit down first, and then push off from the bus. It's important that they push off far enough so that they don't lean back and touch the bus, but not so far that they fall forward and their hands touch the ground. Remind them again that once they land, they must keep their feet together and hop away from the bus. Once children are off the bus and on the ground, they should not touch each other. This can cause live current to flow through both of them, resulting in serious injury or even death. Children with special needs pose special challenges in this situation. Your local school district should work with the local power provider and first responders to determine the best way to evacuate children with special needs in the event of a downed power line. Once decided, they should teach all drivers the procedures. Hopefully, you'll never have to evacuate your bus when there's a downed power line. But if you do, it's good to be prepared. Let's review how you can stay safe. Assume that all downed power lines are energized. If possible, stay on the bus. Radio your dispatch or call 911. Tell them it's an emergency with a downed power line and you have a busload of children so that they can contact the power company. Warn people outside of the bus who might want to help to just stay away. Wait for the utility company to confirm that the line is not energized, and then exit the bus to a safe place. If you absolutely have to evacuate the bus, tell the students to leave everything behind and to exit the bus in an orderly fashion, preferably through the front door. Have the students jump down to the ground with both feet together and hop to safety. Never help any other student down in any way. In cases of students with special needs or ambulatory concerns, the local school district should work with the local power company and first responders to determine the most appropriate way to evacuate them based on the individual student's abilities. Thank you so much for your time and attention during this important safety presentation. Be prepared to follow these procedures if you ever encounter a down power line.